Well, after the shocking defeat for Eric Cantor, well, the Republicans had to pick a new leader. And today they announced that California Congressman Kevin McCarthy will serve as the party's new majority leader. This, again, after that shocking loss for Mr. Cantor in Virginia in the primary. He got beat by economics professor David Brat, who was backed by the Tea Party that appears to be giving the GOP a run for its money. And if many, like myself, pour dirt on them too soon, we are chagrined. Okay. What, if anything, is the takeaway, Jeannie, for the party as a consequence of Cantor in terms of it seemed that Boehner was at least pushing back to the Tea Party, and they were talking about electability. I heard Lindsey Graham in South Carolina saying, my race isn't going to be just about my race. It's going to be a message here that we as a party are the Reagan Big Ten thing and no longer, you know, the litmus test of the Tea Party. I think Virginia said not so fast.
You know, I think we have to be careful about reading too much into this race in terms of a national perspective. You know, quite frankly, the Tea Party did not, the big fundraisers, support Brat. He won in a really classic race of, you know, all but Cantor. I mean, the same thing we saw with Quinn, all but Quinn. You know, he is, you know, the people in that district, and we don't know still how many Democrats and independents that Brat invited to vote in their open primary system, which I am opposed to, you know, actually voted. And so there's a question about that. But there's also a question about, you know, Eric Cantor, election day, voted in the district and went back to D.C. to do his work as a leader. And when you talk to people in the district, they've said he was not present.
I hear you, but
I don't know if you can read the Tea Party issue into it.
Wasn't there a chilling consequence, though, that as a result of what happened in Virginia, whatever slim chance, for example, that immigration reform would move through Washington,
which was a key issue,
is dead on arrival.
It was a key issue in that
right,
race. I give you that.
Because they looked at Virginia and Richmond and said, time out.
Absolutely.
If the majority leader got kicked to the curb here, there's no way I'm sticking my neck out for that.
And those were people on the ground, and we saw them when Cantor left his concession speech. They stormed, and I use that term loosely. There weren't that many of them, but they went into the hotel and they tried to take the mic. I mean, that was a big issue, and certainly that is dead not only this year, I think, but probably for the next couple years. We're not going to see immigration reform.
And I think, forget about what I think about immigration reform and forget that, you know, why get facts into a story, but George W. Bush, by the way, his proposal was even more progressive than what we're seeing right now being debated in Washington. My only point is, it's not good when parties are put into corners and they can't come out of them, because you need compromise, right?
Well, there's too much in that sentence for me to say right or wrong to. A, this is not parties being put into a corner.
How can you disagree with the idea that compromise is a bad thing?
Well, if that's what you had said, now that I understand it, you're absolutely right. But that's not my point. The Tea Party represents not just backing a party into a corner. There's a set of social economic views that they have that are what worried me. If the Republican Party get captured through the primary process, that's fine with me. But I care about the ideas, not the fate of the Republican Party. And the notion that you can say that we ought to find a way to let children who came here innocently stay and you lose your seat because of that, that's scary stuff. That you go out and say that this was God's will, that the Republican Party...
there's even scarier stuff than that that we're here talking about.
That kind of stuff seems to me to be where the fear ought to be. The Republican Party is disintegrating. It's been disintegrating since 2009, but it's not disintegrating in a straight line. And I think the 2016 elections are likely to be the point where everybody goes,
I noticed you didn't say 14, Andrew.
We need a new party.
And that is going to be, if you think we've seen gridlock now, imagine the next 2 years.
Well, this doesn't impact the midterms, but if this House leadership's a deck of cards, you got rid of Eric Cantor and you pulled 2 more conservative cards and put that into the deck. Kevin McCarthy is to the right of Eric Cantor. Steve Scalise is to the whip. Is
Kevin McCarthy's to the left of Eric Cantor.
Nothing's going to get done in Congress for the rest of the year.
The bizarre thing is Kevin McCarthy
leadership will be to the right.
Is what seems like a moderate by Republican terms. This is nuttiness. There's no center in the Republican Party.
We're going to jump to a quick break, everybody. We'll be right back.
Where'd you get that?